One Happy Mama exists because Black motherhood deserves to be celebrated and supported. In 4 years, the organization has supported more than 600 mothers, distributed $60,000 worth of diapers, provided $67,000 in financial support to families, and put $70,000 worth of baby essential items directly into the hands of the community. We know how much a pack of diapers costs, and we are trying to help support that. We have 1,000 registered guests, 120 community partners, and 60 sponsorships across 3 years. So this is not just a nonprofit. We really are starting a movement. And so today you're going to hear from physicians and advocates and a mentor and a mentee. And we even have Tatiana Ali, who we all know from her life at time as an actress, but she too had a core maternal health experience, and that pushed her to become a Black maternal health advocate. So she will be joining us later on today for a panel to talk about her experience. So we're gonna get started, and so our first panel is Why We Need Each Other. We have Kiara Daniels and Marcy. Yay! And also a little fun fact, I don't know if folks know that April is National Volunteer Month. So more than 60 million Americans volunteer each year, contributing an estimated 122.9 billion in economic value to their communities. Every mentor in this room is a part of that. So thank you, Marcy. And so Marcy Klein is a proud wife and mother of 5 who leads with heart, resilience, and purpose. With a strong background in sales and community engagement, she is passionate about helping others grow personally and professionally. As the co-founder of Iron Rose Legacy Group, a minority woman-owned staffing company, Marcy is dedicated to creating opportunities and empowering women to step into their strength and success. Her journey is rooted in overcoming challenges, embracing her Mexican-Filipino heritage, and showing her children what it means to rise, lead, and build something of their own. And last but not least, we have our One Happy Mama mentee, Kiara Daniels. She is 21 years old, a proud graduate of Booker T. Washington High School, class of 2022, okay? And a current student at Southern University, majoring in psychology. With plans to become a licensed counselor, Kiara is deeply passionate about supporting and uplifting others. As a devoted mother to her 1-year-old son, Kason, she embodies resilience, strength, and determination. And Kason is over there. Hey, Kason. He's having a snack right now, importantly. So we'll get started. Our first panel is Why We Need Each Other. This is a conversation that explores what real support looks like in practice and why it matters in the lives of mothers through the voices of a mentor and a mentee. So here we go. First question. What did you need that you hadn't been able to find before this space? This is for you.
I would say community. So I'm the first out of my friend group to have a child. And I know that young mothers do exist, but I didn't really know any. I feel like after I had my baby, that's when everybody was like, oh, where were you when I was pregnant? But yeah, the community, like the mentees and the mentors are on GroupMe. And it's like, it'll be times where it's like, somebody will say, oh, well, I did this, or I did that, and like everybody is just pouring support into them, and I just love that about One Happy Mama and like what Miss Janissa is doing with the young mothers, and how with the community that One Happy Mama gives me, I don't know what the word would be, I don't feel ashamed to be a young mother, basically. I was scared. I was very scared. I was scared about what people were going to say. I had my pregnancy until I was 30 weeks. Yeah. Everybody was like, here, I was pregnant. I was like, oh no, I was definitely pregnant. But yeah, I had my pregnancy for a long time. And then when One Happy Mama, when I did join it and I did, like get that sense of community, I wasn't ashamed. And I really like embraced being a young mother. Like I couldn't see myself without my child.
Wow, thank you for that. Marcy, this question is for you. What made you step into mentorship, and what were you carrying or wanting to give at that time?
I stepped into mentorship because I started volunteering in the community a lot, and my focus was schools and students that were not as well off as others. And so once I started noticing the same trends, the same, teachers telling me students aren't coming because of X, Y, and Z, then I started noticing on my end that I didn't have the support growing up either, and things would have changed for me. So now I followed One Happy Mama for almost a year before I actually opened up and said I would like to volunteer, I would like to be a mentor. Once I started that, I realized this is my call. I firmly believe that God puts you in rooms with different people for a reason. And there's a lot of women that, like young moms, that you are ashamed and you shouldn't be, because pregnancy is something that you are blessed with, because there are women that can't have children, regardless of what age. That's why we need to come together as a village and circle around these girls. And that was my biggest thing, to show them, you're not alone at all.
Absolutely. So this question is just for you, Kiara. What did support from One Happy Mama actually look like? Not what you expected, but what you received. And you kind of touched upon that a little bit.
So I said community, but also just like the mentors. Even with Miss Janitza, like we and her have really have a lot of conversations and she's very, very supportive and things like that. But I wasn't expecting to really, really, really be cared for, if that makes sense. They really care about us. They really care about us. They want to see us succeed. They literally check into the group chat, or even the mentees sometimes, they'll check in and be like, how is everyone doing? Is everyone okay? Things like that. Just really being loved also. Because, some young mothers, not speaking for the mentees or whatever, but some young mothers don't have that support. Their families have really turned their back on them because they have had children young. And I just feel like One Happy Mama, they really love and care about us. And I feel like all of the mentors, they show up every day and they show up for their mentees. And even every mentee in the group, every day they show up and they care about us and they want to see us succeed and be happy. And I love that.
Wow. That's also, something that she said that we take for granted. Then you said you actually feel loved and cared for.
Yes, definitely,
right?
definitely.
Okay. So, was there a specific moment where you were like, wow? You said you have lots of conversations with Janitza and other folks, but was there that one moment where you were like, oh, it all came together, something I do feel cared for, right? Something that happened, right? A phone call, a session, or something.
It would be two.
Okay.
So the first was, I think it was last month, we went to Justini's. We hadn't even been at Justini's, and I just I have a bad habit of not living in the moment. So I really just sat back and I was like, wow, I'm in the room with a lot of young mothers, a lot of mentors who are also mothers and who have also probably had children young, and I just was like, wow, this is really this is something that I shouldn't take for granted, because it just was so nice enjoying that and the community and the conversations. And it's some of the girls, I don't even know some of the girls, but it's we talking we've known each other for our whole life. I love that for us, honestly. And another one would be with Miss Janitza. So it'll be times where I'll text her and I'll be like, hey, just texting her. Or she'll check in on me. But with Miss Janitza, I told her that I wanted to start a nonprofit. So I did start my nonprofit. We haven't really did.
Let's clap up for that. Take a moment for that. Okay.
We haven't did any events yet. I'm still working on it. But I told her that I wanted to start it, and she just instantly was all hands on deck. So she had me doing a lot of behind the scenes things for this event. For example, I was reaching out to businesses for the raffle tickets and stuff like that. And as you see, I'm on the panel, so she let me do that. So I just love how she really really supported that and really was you want to start it, I'm gonna tell you this, I'm gonna tell you that, and we're gonna roll. And I love that.
Okay, 30-second plug. What is your nonprofit? 30 seconds go.
Okay, my nonprofit is called Project for Generations, and it is basically for the children in New Orleans, because I do want to go into education after I graduate, so I want children in New Orleans to know that they are cared for, loved, and that someone is willing to put the work in for them. So doing events like back to school giveaways, or just like, young girl mentorship, young boy mentorship, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, we're going to be looking for your website. We're going to be looking to support and donate in all of the ways, so keep us posted. Okay, so Marcy, for you, what makes mentorship here feel different from advice or just having support in your life?
Mentorship is completely different than advice. Advice is something when you ask me how does my outfit look, I say what I say and I move on. I have developed being a mentor into almost feeling like I have gained a younger sister. There's not a day that I don't talk to my mentee, and really seeing what I went through growing up, what I went through as a young mom. If I would have had that, life would have been different. And I told myself, don't do it. Pull yourself together.
And you doing it.
And I'm doing it.
But that's okay. That's okay.
Being a mentor and seeing the mentorship and what the rewards are, I have seen my mentee go from boxed into her little shell into a woman where she's walking into rooms on her own, and she would never do that. And so I honestly feel like the more we step in to be mentors and the more we are being vulnerable, the more we are being open and honest about our past, it's helping shape them into something that they don't have to go through. And then if they're going through something, this is the advice that they needed, that it's like they're not in this alone, because like you said, families have given up on them. And guiding through the world as a woman of color is hard. A woman of color with a child that you're trying to raise is hard. So when you have that mentorship, it is life changing. And being a mentor to somebody that you can help change, it's just amazing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead, go for it.
Okay, I just want to say that, like, I'm an observer. I look at everything. I pay attention to everything. Y'all needed each other. You and Jamie, y'all really, really need each other. And I just want to give you your flowers for really pouring into her. Like, when we were at Justine's, I remember, I don't know what the conversation was, but you really just stopped her and was like, you're beautiful. Calm down. You're beautiful. And I was like, I just love everything about that. Like, I was like, that is just so amazing. I just love who you are as a mentor. Like, you really, really do pour it to just, not just Jamie, all of us. So.
Oh. Yes. A question for you, Marcy. How has being a mentor changed the way you see yourself or the way you think for your own life?
Being a mentor, again, growing up, I was always told, you're never going to be successful. You're not enough. You're not doing things right. And I had to guide myself through life. I had to make the mistakes and learn from them. I had to do all of this stuff. So being a mentor in all of this has changed how I am as a wife, as a mother, and as a community individual. And the more I see how much somebody can benefit from my mistakes and my knowledge, it's almost like I want to get back even more and help raise my daughters to be in these type of rooms so that they can also get back and not be ashamed of who they are, whether or not you're standing up in a room by yourself or you're in a room full of people that are clapping for you.
So we're gonna wrap up the question. We'll answer this. If this kind of support didn't exist, what would be missing for a woman like you? You want to answer that since you're for me? So the question is, if this kind of support didn't exist, what would be missing for a woman like you?
It would be missing a village. When you have grown up solo and fighting your way through it, this type of stuff is needed for women to know you have a village. I recently learned about a village and what women are doing for each other, whether they are 18 years old up to 67 years old. this type of community is needed. And for us to grow together, there might be something that I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hair, and you might come in and say, I got you this, don't worry about it. But, and then there's some things where it's like, I don't know how to balance my money correctly. I'm happy to help you with that. There's no judgment. If this didn't exist, women would not be coming together. Women have to understand that once we are in this together, we're going to accomplish everything. We're going to win. We're going to clap for each other. We're never going to doubt one another. And we're going to help the next generation build it even more, whether they're young men or young women.
I'm gonna just basically build off what she said. It would definitely be that village. I would feel like I was lost. Like, I know that if I feel like I'm very, very hyper independent, but I know if it got to the point where it was like, here, can't do this by yourself, you need help, I'm texting the group chat. Like, can somebody help me, please? I would just feel lost. And I love that I'm not on my own. Like, I know that I'm not alone. Like, regardless, I have my family, but I know that I have a second family within one half of mine. So just feeling that village, like Marcy said, and also knowing that I will be able to pour into the next generation. Like, I could just see myself being way older and seeing a pregnant mom, and she just is like, she looks like she's crying for help. I would instantly step in and be like, yeah, so we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, and you're gonna do this, you know, like, not necessarily just being a mentor, how my mentor was to me, just helping her through things like that. So it's definitely a village.
Well, thank you both for sharing your story. I'm excited to learn about your nonprofit. Marcy, you and I have been looking at each other across the room on LinkedIn for a while now. So thank you for saying yes. Thank you for sharing your story. And this is what it looks like when we need each other. So we have more panels to come. Let's give it up for these beautiful people. And so stick around. More panels to come.